Okay, so now we're at the back axle. Of course, pretty much very similar to what we had to do in the front. Of course, everything's flipped around. There's no steering gear. Sway bar and link. We're gonna undo whichever one is the easiest. Pull the shock, both sides, and then we're gonna lower this axle down. And hopefully we're gonna try and get away with it without having to remove the track bar and all that jazz. But we didn't draft it on the front. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get after it. We'll grab an 18 mil deep socket for the shock bolt. Make sure we're in reverse. Little trick, when you get a threaded bolt like this, you need to take it out. You can actually just spin it and take the wrench and push on the back side. And it'll just gently pop out. So this top one's kind of a pain. I was looking at it before. I was hoping that I'd be able to get at it through the back, but I don't have enough extensions with me, so might have to just use a ratchet. If there's a shortcut, take the shortcut instead of drilling out the old plastic, moving it. The plastic flex is pretty good. We'll see if we can back it out all the way and I don't think so. Pop those. And of course it broke. Of course it broke. Why wouldn't? It's a new toy. I don't think I've even really used it. I bought it, went to work, and it's been sitting in the drawer. So we'll see. All right, so we got the shocks out. We got the sway bar end links out. Let's lower this puppy down and see what we get. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We get a near catastrophe. Yeah. So what happened there was my floor jack was way at the top of this spark, and it wanted to move forward instead of actually moving back. So that's kind of sketchy. What did that give us? Oh, gave us a spring that almost wants to come out. We got a track bar that is hanging us up. Oh, look at that. Now let's see. Come on, you. Oh, look at that. One spring. A shock. Flip over the other side. Spring. And a shock. There. Okay, I'm going to show you what I got going on here. We've got shock mount, got that silly piece of plastic, bolt needs to in through there. All right, a little anatomy, bump stop, and a track bar, sway bar end link, trailing arm, bump stop, track bar. Yeah, look at that. A mount for a shock. So, show you quickly how I can wheel that puppy in there. So, this is not that friendly. So, we're gonna stuff that in there. Got it resting on my leg. Get that hand in there. And wiggle wobble. So if you're having a hard time getting those threaded in, just move the shock body and that'll move the end of the bolt. Real easy. So I just started. Take my handy dandy ratchet. we go. Well, we don't want to do it super tight. And yeah, so you can already tell that these springs are a little stiffer. They just putting a little bit of the weight on the jack, it already wants to kind of lift the diff, or lift the wants to lift the body a little bit. So I'll go weasel that other shock in place real quick. Okay, so we've got the sway bar end link to go in. There we go. We got the old nutteroonie there. Shock bolt. Oh, shocking, it doesn't quite line up. A little more up on the jack. It's up for a shock bolt. If you don't get these shock bolts tight enough, as you go down the road, you'll get a little jounce and you'll hear this little tuck, 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 tuck. You're like, what the hell's that rattle on my brand new vehicle? Well, it's most likely shock. I'll go zip up that other side and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so last but not least, this sway bar end link. And if you would be so inclined, you can actually the stud will turn around the rubber, so you can actually just use the ratchet. And, spin it on us. Oh no, that's as far as it wants to go. So I'm all thumbs. Let's try this a different way. That and that, and then this. So don't try to tighten it all the way up with that. Just get it snug, and then it'll bite. You can take that off, and you can get a good crank on it. There we go. That is it. Spring is in. It's happy. It's seated. Throw those tires on, and hit her with the old tape measure. See what happens. Lovely. All right, let's drop this thing. All right, it's down on the ground. At that mark before, we were at 38. I can tell already there is there's some height difference there. So we'll do this again. We'll measure it again, and we'll take it for a little drive. Oh, exactly 1.25 inches. Same as the front. So it's by the time everything settles out, I think it'll be a full inch. You know, it doesn't seem like much, but a guy can run a bigger tire without interference, all that jazz. And I don't know, it just looks, stock sucks is what the truth is. So I'm gonna swing that door open, bounce it around the parking lot a little bit, bring it back in, check it again, tighten up that trailing arms, and we'll be good. Oh, yep, settle out to exactly 1 inch. Lovely. All right, so there we have it. Another successful mod. Very simple, 250 bucks for 1 inch, and upgraded shocks, you know, factory springs, all nice factory stuff. No need for a wheel alignment. It all tracks perfectly straight. All we gotta do is tighten up those control arms, and yeah, that'll be a wrap. Hope you like what you saw. You know, if you've got any comments, concerns, whatever, drop me a line. Hit the like and subscribe at the bottom. There's lots more to come.